Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Sunday, January 29th, 2012. My name is Andrea Montgomery, and I am responding to the LaClede Town documentary video. It's the first time I saw it, and it was the first time I heard a lot of things about LaClede Town, and it was very interesting, as a matter of fact. Almost, it was almost kind of hurtful to listen to and watch, just because of the feelings I have for that place. It's like something embedded in my heart, and it's just some place that I'll never forget. Or I've had a lot of experiences and things. LaClede Town is a part of my life, as well as you all. That's why I'm making this video response, because it was only like 4 or 5 people talking about LaClede Town, and they were of a different generation, most of them, and they didn't really give the right perspective or vision of LaClede Town. And for this to be somebody's documentary, and for this to be something that you are showing the world about who we are, then I would really like for you to get a better picture and get more voices and more opinions and just different perspectives of the place, because it wasn't all bad like 80% of what I heard. First of all, I'm 30 years old, so I'm a child of a generation of the crack generation. No, my mother, no, my parents did not partake in it in particular, but my parents' siblings, my aunts, their friends, it was just what was going on when I was growing up in the 80s in LaClede Town. And I remember going through a red and blue stage and not being careful of what you wore and what end you lived on, and all of these type of things, being scared in a sense, but at the same time being free and open, and it being a loving and caring and supportive and tight-knit community of what it was. I knew every person that lived on my row. I lived just in the area of the general store with my grandmother and my aunts. Every one of my aunts had an apartment in there. My uncle had an apartment there. My grandmother had one. My mother, it was just everybody. And I'm almost would like to think I would have one there too, because LaClede Town could have come back from where it had gone, and it could be a better place today, like the Blue Miners. But we won't talk about that. So what we're talking about is LaClede Town right now. But anyway, um, I grew up. I went to Benjamin Banneker Elementary School with the neighborhood. I went to Peacock Alley Community Center with the neighborhood. I went to Head Start at Berea Church around the corner from the neighborhood. LaClede Town was like another world. It seemed like any other place in St. Louis was out of town when I left LaClede Town. I didn't realize growing up that it was just a little neighborhood within the city. But it seemed like within the area, we lived on different ends throughout it. My family did, and it seemed like throughout LaClede Town, if you were on the west or the east or in the middle or wherever you were going, it was like you were going somewhere else. It wasn't like you was at in the same community or neighborhood. It was actually like you was getting ready to go somewhere. You can go down to the west for the day. Okay, that's 2 minutes down the street, but it was just that type of neighborhood. I have my friends, my long life friends. The most important people to me have come from LaClede Town, and it's because of the attachment and the love that we've shared, and we've grown to know each other, and it's just something that we have for each other. And I want y'all to understand that in the midst of the breakdown of LaClede Town, there was still a generation of children growing up, and all we felt was each other and love and tight knit and community and togetherness. LaClede Town deteriorated before our eyes, and like the guy said, yes, once one person left, they boarded it up. It was just over with. Me myself, um, My family lived in LaClede town through its entire duration. My mother joined the military, so I was able to move in the fourth grade. I moved to Germany, and from there, all over the country, different, a whole lot of different places. But every time I came home, I went to LaClede town. I came to St. Louis, and I went to that LaClede town is home to me. So being anywhere else in the world, I really felt detached or pulled away from LaClede town. So I'm just drawn to that place so much more, and everybody and everything else there, because that's where I grew up as a kid. And like I said, it was a family neighborhood. Everybody was cousins. I've got cousins that aren't my cousins, but they're my cousins because we came from the Cleve town, and that's where we grew up and we together, and that's just how it is. And there's no question about it. There's no asking. Ain't no none of that. It's That's just how it was. And as a 1995, about the ninth grade, and when everybody was gone, I remember when last family, it was like the last people moved out. They lived down the street from the Amoco or the BP now, right there next to the loft. Do y'all remember when that whole strip where the loft was like toe down raggedy buildings? There used to be a whole lot of bums and alcoholics and crackheads and everybody just on that little strip right there. What's that? Olive? Yeah, they used to be screwed up. And what was that? It was a bar across the street. I can't tell you the name of it right now. I can't tell you right now. But a lot of that shit is still right there. That gas station is still right there. That field, that baseball field is now what is that? Get a parking lot. Now it's a parking lot. But it's like I can remember, I can look in my mind, just go back 1 second, and it was all right there. It's still all there. Every year since LaClede Town broke down, I don't really know. Hey, y'all, that's CJ. That's my son Carlos. Every year on the last Sunday in August, since LaClede Town shut down, they've had a reunion, and I haven't been able to make many since then, but I've made a few, and I'm gonna try to make as many as possible because it's such a good time. It's a real reunion of family and mostly friends, and it's something that we look forward to and we enjoy having. I wish that you were there and to record so that you can see the love in the air and just how big of a crowd it is, number one, and then just how cool and loving the environment is, that it's not a fighting, there's no beef, no hate, just all happiness and music and fun, dancing, spirits and things, and cigars and things, and kids running around playing, and people laughing and talking and joking and taking pictures and just having a great time. This is the product of LaClede Town. This is the last generation of LaClede Town. This is what we want you to see and know of what LaClede Town is. And for you, I think they said Freeman Bosley. I promise you, I think that's what this dude just said. You know, I'm all for upward mobility. I'm all for being better and, helping our people become better people, and Harris Stowe being a historically black college and all that, blase, blase. I'm all for that. That's awesome. Awesome. But what I don't appreciate is the your predecessors' denial on the funds from HUD to have LaClede Town restored for the families that were there because they lived there and because it was a home to them. Apparently, because it was someplace that they needed to be. Uh, to the people that denied that. And I just don't really know how I feel about this whole situation and the ball and tossed over to Harrisville State College for $10. For $10. There was a whole community set up over there. They could have renovated that whole complex and set it up and just had student housing on half of it. That's how big it was. Did you hear them say that maybe 35% was occupied at the end? Then that means 65% was available for renovation for Harrisville State College University to use as campus space for their students. I don't know. I see I'm late. I'm lots of years late. It's just something that I'm learning of. It's just something that I think everybody should be aware of. Oh, because they didn't tell y'all that as they was getting people to move out, they was paying them money to help them find somewhere else to go, relocate, some of that nature. Or, yeah, I know they didn't mention that. Harris, SLU got a lot of that land too. SLU got some of that land too. But they didn't mention how much they sold that in to them for. Oh, that's because I forgot to say this. They sold it for $10. It was worth $12 million. Ooh, $12 million. LaClede town, $12 million. That's how much our land was worth. And they sold it for $10. Get them niggers out of here. Get them niggers out of here. I'm sorry, y'all. I was just feeling a certain kind of way, and I just had to say something, and I was in the mood to do it, so I'm doing it. And I think you all should come back and say everything you got to say about LaClede Town too. I love you guys more than you know it. Peace.